when a petty teacher learns never to cross a marine biologist. My 10-year-old daughter Chloe is completely obsessed with the ocean. Since she was little, we've spent our weekends tracking tide pools and reading every marine biology book we could get our hands on. Last month, I even saved up to buy her a replica tooth from a megalodon, signed by her absolute hero, Robert Ballard, the legendary oceanographer who found the Titanic. It was her prized possession. But last week, everything went sideways. Chloe came home from school sobbing, holding a 0 on her science quiz. Her teacher, Mrs. Vance, had asked a bonus question. What is the deepest point on Earth? Chloe proudly wrote, the Challenger Deep, inside the Mariana Trench. Mrs. Vance crossed it out with aggressive red ink and wrote, wrong. The answer is just the Mariana Trench. Stop trying to show off. When Chloe politely tried to explain after class that the Challenger Deep is a specific slot at the bottom of the trench, Mrs. Vance snapped. She called Chloe arrogant and confiscated her signed megalodon tooth, calling it a dangerous classroom distraction. Then, she told Chloe she couldn't have it back until she wrote a 10-page essay on humility and respect. I was livid. I emailed Mrs. Vance, explaining the actual science, but she replied, I have a degree in education, and I've taught this curriculum for 20 years. I don't need parenting advice. The principal wasn't any help either, completely backing her up. So, I decided to play dirty. See, my brother happens to be a deep-sea sonar engineer for NOAA. 3 days later, we didn't just walk into the school principal's office. We rolled in a massive high-definition monitor. My brother had pulled some massive strings and set up a live satellite video feed directly from a research vessel currently floating right over the Western Pacific. We called Mrs. Vance into the room. She looked annoyed until the screen flickered to life, showing a live command center at sea. A scientist in a jumpsuit waved and said, Hey, Chloe, we heard your teacher needs a quick geography lesson. Right there, in front of the sweating principal, the crew mapped the ocean floor in real time using multibeam sonar. They zoomed into the screen, showing the exact coordinates of the trench, before plunging the digital cursor down into the absolute lowest point. The main scientist smiled and announced, and this exact spot is the Challenger Deep. Chloe is entirely correct. Mrs. Vance's face went completely pale. The principal looked at her, then back to the screen, absolutely horrified. Without a word, Mrs. Vance reached into her pocket and handed Chloe her signed tooth back. The next day, the school board announced they were updating the district's science curriculum. And as for Mrs. Vance, let's just say she's being supervised very closely now. Always stand up for the truth, even when the people in charge refuse to look at the map.